Hello everyone, this is Wasim from Edureka and I welcome you all to this session in which I am going to talk about a step-by-step action plan to learn data science in 2020. So let's take a look at the agenda for this session. I will start with the introduction to hottest job profile in the world right now, and then I will explain why it has become so popular. After this, I will explain what goes on in the data science life cycle, and moving further, I will tell you a structured path to learn data science in 2020. And finally, to sum up this session, I will explain how Edureka can help you in mastering data science. Now, without any further ado, let us begin our session with the introduction to data science. So what exactly is data science? By definition, according to Wikipedia, data science is an interdisciplinary field that uses scientific methods, processes, algorithms, and systems to extract knowledge and insights from many structural and unstructured data. So data science is related to data mining and big data as well. Now to break it down in simple words, let me explain data science with a simple example. But before that, let's just discuss some of the history of data science, how it came into the being. The modern day data science has emerged from terms like knowledge discovery and data mining. By definition, data mining is the process of discovering patterns in large data sets involving methods at the intersection of machine learning, statistics, and database systems. Data science is a broad field that includes the processes of capturing of data, analyzing, and deriving insights from it. On the other hand, data mining is mainly about finding useful information in a dataset and utilizing that information to uncover hidden patterns. The emergence of data science was due to a dire need of innovation to analyze big data. And the biggest example of this is the search engines that we use every single second of the day. We leave digital footprints everywhere. A single click on the web page, a share, a like on the post, or a search keyword. All of these activities are considered as data points and accumulated in large numbers to analyze patterns. Large businesses do it to understand the customer requirements, governments do it to make policies, and even political campaigns or any other sports campaign can get significant insights from the data analysis. The biggest of achievements in the recent times, all of them has a data-driven approach in some or the other way. So let us move on to the next part in this session, which is why data science and why it should be on your list as a career in 2020. Why you should choose data science in 2020. The first reason is data-driven developments and solutions are required almost in every domain. Since the humans are generating a huge amount of data every day, and that data needs to be processed in order to generate insights and problem solving suggestions. For example, space sciences or the space science are now making use of the data accumulated over the years to make breakthrough discoveries. And data science isn't just limited to information technology. I mean, where there is a data involved, data science can do wonders, guys. Be it any government organization and a small business in your neighborhood as well. The accumulated data in all the sectors has made an emerging demand for data scientists and eventually caused a surge in the available jobs as well. There is a statistics on this, guys. For an average data science job, it actually stays on the job portal for 5 more days, 5 more extra days, that is, compared to any other job posting on that portal if you compare it with any other job posting. And according to many platforms across the year, there is an estimated at least 1 million more data science jobs by the year 2025. And the number is going to go up from here since we have everything digitalized in this day and age. I mean, we are leaving digital footprints everywhere, which is then converted into the data. And even though there is no specific amount of companies hiring for this job role, since each company can benefit from data science. For example, a company that deals with finance can use data science to find outliers or even predict prices to an extent. An e-commerce business can accumulate important insights about a product and its sales using data science. A marketing agency can make use of data science for growth hacking and SEO as well. And these are only a few examples why we should go for data science in 2020. One of the many reasons for the increased popularity of data science is Python, of course. Since Python is a highly effective and easily readable language, it has inbuilt libraries like scikit-learn, which actually makes it very easy to implement the machine learning models, the complicated machine learning models, which are not very easy to implement before. Now it has become quite easy with Python, guys. So This is one more reason for the increased popularity of data science, because when we use Python with data science, guys, since Python is easy to implement, it becomes very easy to drive insights from the data. And also taking consideration of the average salaries of a data scientist, it is quite a handsome salary package which the data scientists get. And with an average of close to $90,000 for a junior data scientist, to an average of $110 to $120,000 for a data science role. And for a senior data scientist, the numbers go as high as $150,000. And for similar roles in India, the numbers range from at least a 6 LPA to as high as 15 to 20 lakhs per annum. And now that we know the actual reasons to go for data science, let us also take a look at what exactly goes in data science as a whole process in the data science life cycle. Let me just tell you quickly, guys, what exactly is a data science life cycle. So data science life cycle is nothing but the whole processes that goes on starting from the beginning of the process and goes on until the product is finished. So the first step in the data science life cycle is the requirement analysis. Requirement analysis is nothing but trying to understand the objective of the analysis, or trying to figure out the problem and how we will overcome this problem using the data science processes. This is a very important step in the life cycle, guys, because this is the initial step that actually gives away a few of the most important features that will be significant in our data. I'll give you a very simple example, guys. So in the data science community, the Titanic data, it is quite like the Hello World program in the programming community. Any beginner at some point or the other will come across this Titanic data set. So the problem statement is pretty easy, guys. With the data set, it's almost predictable, like how you will use the life and death feature in the data set to predict if you are alive or not. That is one way to look at it, the requirement analysis. And for bigger purposes or the bigger projects, let's say if a sporting team or any other team is trying to approach data science for their leads or insights, they will probably be, let's say for a cricket player, they want to test or they want to check if the player will be suitable for the match or not. So they already know what they're going to test. If it's a batsman, they're going to analyze everything on the basis of how well he bats. That actually means that they'll be analyzing only the batting capabilities. They won't be looking at other capabilities. They will also be looking at that, but the batting capabilities will be more in that. So that is what requirement analysis do. It gives you a bigger picture, and if it tells you what exactly is needed over there. And then the next step is data understanding and exploration. So the next step in data science lifecycle is data understanding. So it mainly consists of processes in which we extract the data. And if we already have in a format where we can use it in a program, we just load it on our systems or in a program using the pandas library in Python. Or we can use the TensorFlow as well. There are so many libraries that we can use, or there are different programming languages as well. Not only Python, we have R programming languages as well. And then we store it in formats that will be loaded in the program. And after that, we clean the data of the redundancies like noise and outliers. To tell you what noise and outliers is, in layman terms, let's say if you have a lot of data, let's say you have 5,000 entries. And for example, let's say you have irrelevant data like missing values and all those. That is considered as noise, guys, which is going to cause overfitting and underfitting of the model. And if you want to know more about underfitting and overfitting, we have a tutorial on that. You can actually go there and check it out. After this process where we have removed all the redundancies and you make sure that data is clean of all the null and missing values, then the exploratory data analysis is performed to understand the relationship between variables and the data. So you have to understand the different relationship between the variables. Like if you're trying to analyze something, let's say if you want to check the price of any product, so you have to make sure all the pointers that you have inside the data has a relationship between the price, so that you will be able to get it to analyze. Otherwise, let's say if I get a name of something that is not related to the price at all, so that is one redundant data in my data set which I can remove. After that, the next part is modeling, guys. So which is also a very important part. That is kind of an advanced process that we have in data science. So model is basically building the model for our requirement, guys. But to choose the correct model, we actually need a few more processes. So feature engineering is done to select the particular features, and data is transformed according to the model requirements. So for some models like neural networks and convolutional neural networks, you have to make sure that the dimensions and everything is correct. That is what is called transforming the data, so that it will fit your model perfectly without any errors. And then the data is used to train the model, guys. I mean, if you don't know about training the model, testing the model, you can check it out on our channel, guys. We have a lot of videos, a lot of tutorials on this. And the evaluation tells us about the accuracy in general, among many other important details. So after you're done training the model, you have to actually check also like how efficient your model is. That is actually calculated with the accuracy of the model, or we can also call it the evaluation phase, where we check for errors or different values that we have for evaluation. And the last part in the data science lifecycle is the deployment, guys. So deployment is nothing but putting out the model to use with real world data. So let's say I have trained my model with a particular set of data, and it's actually showing pretty good results with the accuracy and all the evaluation that I've done on it. But to make use of it for real data is the real challenge, and that is what deployment is all about. And now that we know how a data science project lifecycle is, let us understand a step-by-step learning path for an absolute beginner. So let me just put out a few skills you need to master in order to become a data scientist, guys. So first thing is you have to learn maths and statistics, guys. So statistics in data science is a mathematical science pertaining to data collection and analysis, interpreting and representation. So statistics is used to process complex problems in the real world so that the data scientist and analyst can look for meaningful trends and changes in the data. So if you are well versed in statistics, guys, you'll be able to understand or analyze the patterns that you see inside the data. I'm not saying you have to be master in statistics to get with data science, but it actually helps a lot if you are well versed in statistics. And then learning of probability helps you in making informed decisions about likelihood of events, and based on pattern of collected data. And then linear algebra is actually helping you to understand how the machine learning algorithms work. So maths and statistics and these probability or applied mathematics and linear algebra are basically used to define all these algorithms that we have, but ultimately you are going to use the algorithms to implement. So it's better to understand them, how it works. So for that you need to be well versed in maths and statistics. Don't worry, guys, it's not too hard to understand this. We have tutorials on this as well. You can check it out on our YouTube channel. And the next step in your learning is going to be a programming language. For me, I would be a little biased for Python, guys, because it's very easy to learn and the implementation is super smooth. But you must be familiar with a programming language in order to perform the processes, like there'll be a lot of processes like data analysis or for loading the program also. So for that you need to learn programming, guys. And what better to learn than Python, guys, because you will be able to learn Python in no time. And if you are looking for any certifications, you can check it out, our Python certification program on Edureka as well. But then you need to be very well familiar with the programming language, guys, and it will help you if you're already familiar with some computer programming language, guys. And mastering this programming language is actually covering the basics, like variables, how you deal with the operators, the functions, classes and objects, all these things, or how do you actually use another library to perform several tasks. Because when we are implementing model, guys, there'll be a lot of functions that you're going to use, so you must be aware of how you use a function, guys. I'm sure most of us can find the implementations on the official documentation of any library, but to understand how it actually is working, we have to be very clear about the basics, like how a function actually works, how a function call is, and all these things that you have to master. Then after you have actually mastered the programming language for data science, and then you need to move to the data analysis part, where you would need to learn, for example, if you are trying to learn Python, then for data analysis, you're going to have to learn libraries like pandas. There's NumPy to load and analyze the data and further processes. And talking about the further processes, first is data loading. So for that you need to learn pandas and how the data frames work, how you're going to store them in your data in a data frame and all those things. NumPy to actually reshape and all those data, and it actually helps a lot, guys. So you need to be well versed in these libraries, and like scikit-learn is there, which is used for machine learning, so I'll tell you about that also. And then there is a SciPy, which is scientific Python for use for scientific computations. Then comes the data visualization part, which is also a very important part, guys, because in this step you would need to master libraries like matplotlib and seaborn in Python. And these libraries helps in making visual representations of the relationship between the variables. And this is important because whenever you put out a relationship between the variables in a visual format, to understand the trends and the pattern becomes quite easy, guys. So this is one of the very important part that you have in data science, guys, that is data visualization. So when you are learning, make sure you learn at least matplotlib or a seaborn library. Both are used for the same thing, which is data visualization, to understand the relationship between the variables. And it also helps in feature engineering as well, to understand what are the variables that you're going to use as a dependent and independent variables in case you are trying to predict something or making a classification algorithm, etc. After this, data visualization is the data pre-processing, and this is the part where you need to understand the concept of cleaning the data of redundancies. And redundancies can be anything, guys. It can be the columns in your data that you don't want to analyze for your future predictions or your future processes like model building. And then the redundancies can also be the null values or missing values. So there are two approaches to this. You can fill in the average values in the null places, or you can remove them altogether based on if you want train with the noise or not, or if you want to prevent overfitting and underfitting as well. So that is data pre-processing, which is nothing but you can call it as preparing your data for model building. And after that, you need to learn the machine learning, guys. So which is also a subset of artificial intelligence. But after this, when you have mastered all this, you need to learn a few algorithms, because this is where we build the model. And you must master the library like scikit-learn, guys. You need to understand it fully, like how you're using scikit-learn, what are the different modules that you can use from scikit-learn, what are the different algorithms that you can use in scikit-learn, guys. And you must also learn about the machine learning algorithms in detail. So some of the ML algorithms or machine learning algorithms are random forest algorithm, there is decision tree, then you have support vector machines, and there are regressors like linear regression, logistic regression, all these classification regression algorithms you need to master. After you have learned how to make the model and everything, there'll be deep learning also, which is kind of an advanced concept in data science lifecycle, guys, because deep learning is a more advanced part of machine learning. And in this, you must be familiar with the concepts like neural networks and convolutional neural networks. Then there is RNN, and image classification, text classification are some of the examples. Then there are generative adversarial networks, where you can generate images based on discriminator, and there are generator networks, two different neural networks working together. That's one way to look at deep learning. And you will need to master libraries like TensorFlow, there is Keras, and there is PyTorch, OpenCV for object detection, and all those things. Now, to say the least, the last skill is obviously for an experienced data scientist. And the role in the company also depends on the size of company. There can be a possibility that a data scientist with all these skills above will be working on one of the processes of the data science lifecycle in a big company. And in some small and new companies or a startup, let's say, with less workforce, a data scientist might be responsible for all these processes that I've talked about. And our typical job description will expect an individual to have all the above skills. And for experienced professionals, there'll be an expectation to have a prior experience in data analysis. Since data science is not just limited to one domain, I mean, people with DevOps knowledge and people who have other software engineering skills can also learn this data science and upskill in their work, because data science is the hottest job right now that can pay you a lot of money if you're looking for a career growth. And now that we actually know how we can learn data science in a step-by-step learning path, let me just also tell you about how Edureka can help you in mastering data science. So in the Edureka's data science certification training, after you complete the certification training, you will be able to programmatically download and analyze data, which is extraction and loading the data, and learn techniques to deal with different types of data. I mean, data cannot be just one thing, or it can be different types of data as well, like ordinal, categorical data, and then there is encoding data as well. You'll be able to learn a data visualization. So using the Python notebooks, you will be able to master the art of presenting step-by-step data analysis. Because let's say you have performed a data analysis on some of your data, but you're not able to present it in a step-by-step process, which actually is better. Because when you're presenting something to, let's say, your organization, you have to be very careful with how you're dealing with the data, how you're trying to show what you have gathered, or what insights have you gathered with the processes. And after that, you will be able to gain insight into the roles which are played by a machine learning engineer as well. And you will learn machine learning, work with real-time data, and you will be able to learn tools and techniques for predictive modeling, which I told you, like you can predict outcomes using data science. And of course, scikit-learn machine learning algorithms. You'll be able to discuss the machine learning algorithms in detail and also learn their implementation after the end of the certification. And you'll be able to validate the machine learning algorithms, explain time series and the related concepts as well. And text mining and sentiment analysis will be done in the certification as well. And I will also clear the air, guys. I just tell you, like, this Edureka's data science certification course in Python is good fit for like programmers, developers, technical leads, architects, you can be a developer aspiring to be a machine learning engineer, or analytics manager who are leading a team of analysts can also go for this course. Business analysts who want to understand machine learning techniques. This isn't just limited to information technology. I mean, if you're a business analyst trying to understand business, gathering insights, you can go for this course and grow in your career. And information architects who want to gain expertise in predictive analysis also can go for this course. And Python professional who want to design automatic predictive models can also go for this course. And these are the professionals apart from the beginner, because this course is going to start from the absolute beginners. But if you have experience, also you can go for this course. And the real-time projects matching the industry standards will include case studies for an in-depth knowledge of data science practices like principal component analysis using Python. There will be data preprocessing and cleaning, decision tree and random forest classifiers for modeling and evaluation, and other case studies to learn from and make projects. For more details, you can also visit edureka.co and you will be able to find all the other information that you must be worried about. And with this, we come to the end of the session, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to Edureka for more exciting tutorials, and press the bell icon to get the latest updates on Edureka. And if you have any questions about this data science learning path, you can mention them in the comments and we'll be happy to get back to you as soon as possible. And do check out Edureka's data science certification program. The link is given in the description box below. Also, tell us in the comment section, guys, about which of the discussed skills you need help in the upcoming sessions. Thank you.